What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we just got the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4 on Disney Plus, and it was insane, and cool, and how it sets up the rest of the show moving forward. And then it got mentioned name drops, the White Wolf and the Power Broker in this episode as well, and it ended off kind of brutal. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4, and of course there are gonna be spoilers. If you are trying to avoid major spoilers for this episode, you better click away now. But without further ado, let's get started. So this episode opens up with Bucky in Wakanda, and it's set 6 years ago. So this is before the blimp, and as we can see Ayo, she is training Bucky, and he is free. And then she tries to trigger him by reading him every name of the people that is killed off his list, including flashbacks to where Bucky was in prison, and then when he killed Tony's parents that night on December 16th, 1991. And then Ayo tells Bucky that she knows him and Sam broke Zemo at a prison. And then she asks, how could you free him? And she also told him that Zemo murdered our King T'Chaka at the UN. And then we get a mention of White Wolf in the scene as Bucky talks to Wakanda, and then she says that he has 8 hours to bring Zemo to them, or else they come for Zemo instead of Bucky taking Zemo in. And then Sam, Bucky, and Zemo come up with a plan to try to stop Karli and the rest of the Flag Smashers. And then Zemo tells Sam and Bucky about Karli, and that he says she is a supremacist. And then he says the desire to become a superhuman cannot be separated from supremacist ideals. And that she will not stop, and that she will escalate until Sam kills her. And then the Flag Smashers watch on the news the damage that they have caused to Supply Depot. And the news reporter said that the Flag Smashers group is growing every day, and no one can deny it. And then right as they walk out, we can see that it's a poster for the Global Repatriation Council to reset, restore, rebuild. And then Sam and Bucky split up to go find Donnie, so they ask everyone individually or everyone if they heard of Donnie Madani. And then Sam turns for the box, and on the back of the box, we can see that it's a handprint for the Flag Smashers. And this is the Flag Smashers symbol. And then Sam continuously goes around asking people if they've seen Donnie. No one answers him, and then goes away and closes their doors. And then in the scene, Bucky asks if they've seen Donnie Madani too. And then Sam asks the man if it was Donnie Madani, and that he said she was a refugee, and then the man responds that we're not refugees, and that Sam says that he has a good track record of helping out the people. And then he literally tells Sam that the only thing that people say that they're gonna help out is that they do nothing. And then he literally couldn't help Sam, and then he leaves. And then in the next scene, Zemo goes to sit down with a group of kids, and then he tries to hand out this little girl a Turkish delights, which he says it was always son's favorite. And then Zemo asks the little girl if she knows Madani, and then she answers Zemo, responding yes. And then he asks her where the funeral will be held. And then Sam and Bucky look at Zemo in a very suspicious way, as Zemo is about to do something that's not good. And then he also tells the group of kids that they're very bad and they cannot be trusted. Then he asks the little girl to keep Danya a secret. And so they go into a building, ending up that the people have no idea who Danya Madani is. And that Sam says it's because Karli is the only one fighting for them. And then he mentions that people, houses, and jobs, and they've been welcomed into his countries, and then they've been kept out using barbed wire, and that it wasn't a whole community coming together, it was the whole world coming together. And that the folks were happy to have people around to help them rebuild. It's because of the Global Repatriation Council to restore and rebuild. And then Buck as Zemo what the little girl told him, and that she said to him that the funeral is this afternoon. And then Zemo says something about why to keep his leverage, and then Bucky gets up and takes his glass and then throws it and smashes it against the wall, breaking it. And then he says you want to see what someone can do with leverage, and then Sam says don't engage him, like Zemo is trying to trigger Bucky again. And then the next scene shows Sharon and Sam on the phone to talk about the funeral that's later, and Zemo that is holding him and Bucky hostage with the information. And then she tells him that if you don't find the serum before it's too late, if Karli disappears. And then she tells him that Madripoor is about to get nasty. And that this means when Sam, Bucky, and Zemo were in Madripoor, they were causing trouble about having like fake identities, then like leaving there, having to be on the run. And then after that, they all meet up with the little girl like who was Zemo was having a conversation with, and that like he gave her money for her family just to show, and so that the little girl can lead them to where Karli is. And then the next scene shows that people are out at a funeral paying respects to Karli's mom, Danya. And then Karli and Sam having a conversation that like Sam gives many meaningful words about him being the next Captain America, about like telling her about like Sabu with the frustration that like the world will not be a better place if she ends up killing people. And then she tells Sam that the people that she's fighting are trying to take his home, and that Sam says like his sister is waiting for that exact same answer, and that she tells him that he is not her enemy, and that like she and he agrees with what she is saying, and he agrees with her fight. And then after that, U.S. agent John Walker bursts in attempting to arrest Karli Morgenthau, and then they end up fighting, and then like Karli manages to escape and run by jumping through railings and running, and then they lost her. And then after that, Zemo tries to kill Karli, and after that, like Zemo finds a bunch of serums like on the floor, and then after he picks it up, he ends up smashing it and smashes all the rest of the serums. Then after that, U.S. agent Joe Walker comes in, and then ends up finding one more serum that has been crushed, and then he looks at it and ends up keeping it and putting it in his pocket. And then after that, Karli and the rest of the Flag Smashers or the team meet outside, and then they read the text message that Karli got from the Power Broker. And now with the Power Broker, my theory is that like the Power Broker might be Thunderbolt Ross, because in the Marvel comics, it goes on to be Red Hulk Thunderbolt Ross, who is the leader of the Thunderbolts team, which will be revolving around the series. They introduce the Thunderbolts team later in the show. And the Power Broker tells Karli that he wants the serum back, or that he'll find her and end her. And then Karli tells them that how to direct Sam without actually getting into a fight on how to deal with them. And then she says like by ending up separating them. And then after that, U.S. agent John Walker and Battlestar burst in, telling Sam that he has to turn Zemo in. And then he asks him to put down the shield to make it fair. And then after that, Wakanda Warriors, the Wakanda women come in, and then they burst open, and then they tell them that the time is up and that they have to turn Zemo to them now. Then after that, they end up attacking them, and then like Bucky ends up getting his metal vibranium arm ripped off. And then Battlestar and U.S. agent John Walker, Captain America, and end up having a conversation on how like the serum and the source is gone, and like John Walker wanted to do it, and then like John Walker ends up signing an autograph for a fan. And then Karli and Sam Sarah have a conversation on the phone where Karli threatens Sarah and Sam's nephews. And then Sam gets a text from Karli having to meet her on the roof and to come alone, and then like Bucky goes with Sam on the roof. And then U.S. agent John Walker goes to find the Flag Smashers, or that the Flag Smashers would have found him. And then they end up getting in a fight with the Flag Smashers, which ended up and Lamar, aka Battlestar, getting killed. And then after Lamar ended up getting killed, John Walker ends up running after one of the Flag Smashers. And then it ends in the most brutal way, like we never seen in the MCU. It takes a dark turn with John Walker actually executing one of the Flag Smashers with the shield, like punching him and stabbing him like many times with the shield, with the whole world and the people watching recording it on their phones. house. And then after that, John looks around and saw that everyone recorded with their phones, so that like, and so that John Walker might be in some will be in some trouble, and you can see like based on the blood on that shield, like see if, and like the way we see that shield in the MCU, it was never intended to have blood on that shield. Wow, with like a John Walker leaving blood on that shield, like that was like never intended like for like the MCU, and like we never thought it would end in such like a brutal way. But yeah, I'm excited to see like what it comes for next episode, what it comes for John Walker. Maybe he's gonna get some sort of punishment or end him in court, and also I can't really see like where it. And in the next episode, we're supposed to have like a major cameo that's supposed to make us cry. But like, don't worry, like that will be in the next episode. So yeah, that is gonna be it for this breakdown of episode 4 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you enjoy the episode? Give me a rating out of 10. Also, don't forget to like the video, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.